Okay, we're on to our next topic now, which is about choosing healing music. This is a question I get asked all of the time. And in the last one, I talked about free speech. And that, in some ways, ties in with this too. So let's say you are practicing, trying to adjust what comes out of the mouth. You're working on reframing the brain so that you're thinking more positive thoughts rather than negative. I mean, because the only way to get rid of the negative stuff is to replace it with something more positive. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer, but maybe not everyone thinks that way. It's like everything else. You have to practice and practice changing mindsets. We have to transform our mindsets into a new way of thinking, into a new way of behaving. And once we do that, then life is going to be a lot easier. So even when it comes to choosing healing music, so let's say you've got a physical symptom or you've got some emotional stuff going on, you're going to choose different music based on what it is you're trying to do. The other thing that I found is it has to do with what do you like to listen to. Another thing that's really important is lyrics. How many, you know, if you actually pay attention to the lyrics of the songs you're listening to? Raise your hand if you listen to the lyrics all the time. Honestly, I didn't always do that. And I'm going to tell a story. One time when I was house director at a sorority, and it was mom's weekend, and the fraternity down the street was playing some pretty heavy duty rock music that had some interesting language. No, it was rap, not rock. And all these moms and their kids are wandering around the street. And I'm sitting here thinking, ugh. I mean, it was pretty nasty stuff. And so I walked down in front of the fraternity house and I repeated the words to the song. And then I turned to one of the boys who's throwing the football to another one. And I said, is that the kind of language you want your moms to hear when they're walking down in front of your frat house? Turn around, walk back up to my sorority. And within 5 minutes, well, I think it didn't even take that long. By the time I reached my house, they had changed the music. So when it comes to choosing healing music, you want to choose the music if there's lyrics in it that specifically address what you want. But I've also found that especially when it comes to healing music, you want to choose something that is instrumental, where you can put and embed your own intent into the music. That's where meditation music comes along, where just really quieting music comes along. But if that's not the type of music that you listen to, then find something that is going to bring you in a place of calm. It has to be peaceful. Um, it's really important to pay attention to your emotions when you are listening to music. I have 3 minute to 4 minute samples of all my music on the website, and I'll put a link to the samples page so you can see what I'm talking about. And when I tell people when they ask, well, I've got such and such an issue, what album should I listen to? Then I automatically send them to the samples page and say, listen to all the samples and allow your body to tell you what it wants. What feels good to you at that moment that brings you into a place of peace, that brings you into a place of rest, into a place of comfort. So that's why you have to pay attention to the emotions. If anything that you listen to makes you go, oh, or feel angry or anxious, then skip past it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean the song is bad, that it just means your body doesn't want it at that time. And I had this happen to me at an event where I had music playing, and the lady who was in the booth next to me was really struggling. Her husband had just died the week before, and she still came to this conference. And there was a couple of songs that were playing that really irritated her, and she couldn't figure out what it was. Then I realized, oh, so then I went and I gave her the New Hope album. which is all about working through trauma. And I never heard from her how it went, but I explained to her because she felt bad that she wasn't enjoying some of the stuff that I was playing. So that's why I say your body, your system may not like a song one day, but might like it the next day. So when you are choosing healing music, you find a variety of things that you think that you could listen to. You listen to 2 or 3 minute samples, and then you pay attention to your emotional state. You need to feel at rest, at peace, some form of comfort, but there should be no anxiety, no frustration or anything that's creeping in from the music itself while you are listening to it. That is how you choose healing music. Then what you listen to it as long as your system wants to listen to it. It's like going to the doctor, getting an antibiotic, and they say, take this for 10 days or however long it is. And then you make sure you take it its full length. So you listen to the music with intention that it's going to bring healing and calmness to whatever area in your life. Then you do that as long as it feels like it's right. Trust your intuition. A lot of times we just go throw it out the window. So those are some tidbits on how to choose healing music. And if you don't know what to choose, check out the album list that's below and just listen to several albums, and you can get them on Gumroad. There's a link directly in there. You click on it, it takes you to Gumroad where you can download them. Okay. And in the next one, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the sound bath portion of this, which is, again, healing music, because I am healing frequencies music. Okay. We'll see you in the next section. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right?